Let's now take you to Mdantsane in the Eastern Cape, where the inquest into the deaths of 21 youngsters at the Enyobeni tavern has continued all week. The inquiry is trying to determine if anyone can be held criminally liable for the 2022 tragedy. Our reporter Sipha Kema has been following the proceedings and joins us now. Sipha, the magistrate postponed proceedings after one of the witnesses broke down.
Well, that's true, Vuyo. I mean, we saw the young lady breaking down in the stand after she was given a file that had photos. And these photos were really graphic photos. We could see them from where we were seated when the advocate representing the families held up the file, asking the magistrate if he can hand it over to the witness, Siphiwe Shabalala. Siphiwe Shabalala is actually one of the party goers, and she actually witnessed her friend die just in front of her eyes, but also was helping those that were unconscious, unaware that some of them were deceased. So when the advocate brought out that file and then showed her those photos, those graphic photos that we saw of the deceased in their deceased manner and how they were lying at Enyobeni, brought back some traumatic memories for her, Vuyo, causing her to break down, especially the friend. Well, we wouldn't call her a friend, but an acquaintance, because she did make it clear that that was not a friend of hers, but an acquaintance, a friend of a friend, though. But reliving that trauma and that moment was very, traumatic for her. She couldn't speak, but she at first tried to be strong, saying that she can continue with the testimony. But then, she broke down eventually when she was shown the autopsy photos as well that were part of the file that she was given, so that she could help identify whether that is the acquaintance that she's been referring to that had passed away. But she couldn't continue any longer. She broke down, and the magistrate said that we cannot go any further than this because she is crying. We can continue tomorrow. But part of her testimony, Vuyo, was very important and key, because it places Mr. Siyakhangela Ndevu, who is the co-owner of Enyobeni Tavern, at the tavern after 9 o'clock. If you remember, he had actually said in his statement, also told the media that morning when all the media had arrived after that tragic incident, he had said that he left just after 9 o'clock and was unaware of what was happening and was unaware of the overcrowding, because when he left, it was still relatively early and there weren't a lot of people inside. But the testimony today brought by Siphiwe Shabalala places him there at Enyobeni at just after 11 p.m., but also the photos and the selfies they took, because he's in the background. And he also made advances to Siphiwe Shabalala's friend that was there. But this is part of her testimony where she acknowledges how she helped those who were unconscious, unaware they were deceased. This is what she had to say.
As they were being put, was there any attempt made to try and wake them up, or they were just put them and then left?
So, dabon because abanye bebekwa nje abanye bevela amabele, abanye benqoba izigate bengavele i-private parts zabo. So mina benibakhulula because I didn't know that bafile. I thought mina mhlawumbe ane blackout, that's why benibakhulula baphakamisa inhloko ndimbeka umntana.
They would be put and be left there. Others' breasts were out, others' heads were up, and the private parts were showing. So now I was just covering them and waking them up, because I didn't know, or I didn't take it that they were dead. I took that they had passed out.
And that was part of her testimony, saying that she was one of the people that was assisting those who were unconscious at that time. Fortunately for her, she did not sustain any injuries compared to the previous two partygoers or Enyobeni survivors who gave testimony as well. But what has stuck with her is the experience, as well as seeing people dying in front of her, more especially that acquaintance. That is something that's going to stay with her for a while now, Vuyo.
Sipha Kema, keeping an eye on that story for us. One of the witnesses breaking down today, of course, leading to the magistrate asking for a postponement.